the schedule was simple that जब सारा काम हो गया हो एंड टाइम मिले तब पढ़ाई करो, और अगर किसी दिन ज्यादा टाइम मिले तो थोड़ा ज्यादा पढ़ लो, कम टाइम मिले तो उस हिसाब से एडजस्ट कर लो. आई सॉ दिस एग्जाम इज नॉट लाइक जस्ट सम अदर एग्जाम विच यू pursue in school. Only thing that helped me was to make sure that I take things one day at a time. Like मेरे को ये नहीं देखना था कि कितना बाकी है, मुझे ये देखना था कि मैं आज क्या कर सकता हूँ. सो वेरी फ्रैंकली मेरा एक्सपोजर था लिमिटेड टू द 10 PM to 12 AM वाले लेक्चर्स, बस वही देखे मैंने बेसिक जो लेक्चर्स थे, and that was still more than enough for me to cut like clear off the cutoffs. Like in the last month, like EG के through ही बहुत लंबे lectures start हो जाते हैं, 10 hour 12 hour lectures sometimes. So a lot of the days were like pretty much planned. They like served it on the plate. हर एक PI happened 5 to 6 days before each actual interview, so that I also had time to reflect on how my interview performance was, improve upon that. Really helped me convert my IFT call was my GD performance, which was significantly better than my PI performance, and I think that that made the difference for me. I remember last year 2023 में IFT के result में एक आर्यन जैन था, but it wasn't me. It was someone else. तो उसका पूरा अलग, तो उसका आईडी अलग था, तो आई थॉट दैट ये साल की लिस्ट में भी मैं नहीं हूँ, वो कोई और ही होगा. बट देन आई रीचेक्ड the IFT ID, and I like rechecked it 2 3 times, and then I realized that it's me.
First of all, a huge congratulations on securing your IIT Delhi convert.
Thank you very much.
Share a little bit about your journey so far, your background, school, college, and what were you doing
Yeah.
before CAT?
So, well, I graduated in Mumbai itself, which is my hometown, from HR College in financial markets. That was my specialization. And I graduated in 2023, which is also the year in which I attempted CAT. And I attempted CAT again in 2024. Both years were with Elitesgrid itself. And besides that, yeah, I've been working in I have had interned in finance before, and uske साथ साथ I've also worked in my family business. So very recently I've been working in B2B sales for my family business as I prepared for CAT.
What was the personal motivation behind choosing to pursue an MBA and preparing for CAT?
तो MBA का लाइक सबसे बड़ा मोटिवेशन यही था दैट आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ विथ माय इंटरेस्ट इन फाइनेंस, और फैमिली बिजनेस ज्वाइन करने का रीजन था बिकॉज ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी, आई वांटेड टू एक्सप्लोर इट. लेकिन उसके साथ साथ आई ऑल्सो हैड दिस मोटिवेशन कि मुझे एक फ्रंट एंड फाइनेंस रोल एक्सपीरियंस करना है, एंड आई रियलाइज दैट उसका एक्सेस एक MBA के थ्रू ही मिल सकता है. So that was like my primary motivation to pursue an MBA, because I realized कि उसकी importance भी बहुत है and काफी अच्छे roles भी आते हैं, and we also get relevant you can say education and exposure in such MBA colleges. तो इसलिए I decided to pursue CAT and prepare for MBA entrance exams. Yeah.
I would love to know how you balance and stayed consistent with the CAT preparation since you were working. तो work में
Yeah.
तो मतलब time dedicate करना पड़ता है and CAT preparation
Yeah.
also needs a lot of hard work and time. So how did you balance both? Basically, what was your schedule?
So I personally like created a lot of schedules, but मेरे journey में I realized कि schedules are not that easy to follow जब पूरा दिन unstructured होता है, because every day is different. So sometimes you leave from office early. So if you have a schedule, you cannot be rigid. अगर आप early आ गए हो तो maybe you can give more hours. Sometimes you come late, so on that day it is okay if you don't study as much as you had planned. But more important than that was to stay consistent for me, because I personally couldn't put in a lot of hours in a given day, and I'm also not used to doing that. But what I decided to do, which made a difference for me, was I ensured I did something at least every single day. So the schedule was simple that जब सारा काम हो गया हो एंड टाइम मिले तब पढ़ाई करो, और अगर किसी दिन ज्यादा टाइम मिले तो थोड़ा ज्यादा पढ़ लो, कम टाइम मिले तो उस हिसाब से एडजस्ट कर लो. दैट वाज लाइक रियली द शेड्यूल, सो वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल इन दैट रिस्पेक्ट.
From which colleges did you receive calls and which are the ones that you have successfully converted so far?
So I got calls from SPJMR, I got calls from MDI, IIFT, all the CAP IIMs, and I was able to convert IIFT Delhi. and the cap IIMs, and I got waitlisted for MDI and couldn't convert SPJMR.
Okay, so you say that this is your second attempt, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
may I ask you your percentile previous year versus this year?
Sure. So in my first attempt in 2023, I got a 94.4 percentile, and this year I scored a 98.97 percentile.
That's a massive
Yeah.
difference. So can you tell
Yes.
me what specific changes did you make in your preparation that helped you to improve your score?
So, what I can say I did differently was I changed my perspective to what CAT is as an exam. Because in 2023, ironically, मैंने ज़्यादा syllabus complete किया था compared to 2024, क्योंकि ये साल I was also doing full time job, so थोड़ा difficult हो गया. But it was better this year क्योंकि I saw this exam as not like just some other exam which you pursue in school, जहाँ पर syllabus is important. यहाँ पर syllabus is obviously important, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा important है आप कैसे time manage करते हो एग्जाम के वक्त, आपकी practice and consistency कितनी है, and how are you able to strategize and pick your battles, which is pick your questions correctly. तो वो चीजों पर मैंने ज्यादा फोकस किया इस साल, and that turned out in my favor. So yes, that was the thing that I changed this year.
How did you come to know about Elitesgrid? Did someone recommend you or you did your own kind of research and found out about
Yeah.
Elitesgrid?
I did my own research. So मेरे को एक YouTube चैनल से एक पूरा like कोई एक्सेल शीट मिला था जहाँ पर बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स
Prepare
थे.
हो रहा
या
है.
यस. तो उस पे
Okay.
मैंने सारे रिव्यूज पढ़े, और मेरा मेरा बेसिक एनालिसिस यही था कि मुझे एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूट चाहिए जो ऑनलाइन पढ़ाता हो, बिकॉज मुझे ट्रैवल नहीं करना था. और दूसरा था कि आई वांटेड द बैच आवर्स टू बी फ्रेंडली फॉर फुल टाइम वर्क एक्स लोग वाले लोग. ऑल्दो इन 2023 आई वाज स्टिल इंटर्निंग, बट फिर भी इट वाज a little better to manage with this 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. उसके साथ साथ द अदर थिंग वाज दैट आई डिड नॉट वांट मिक्स्ड रिव्यूज. मैं मिक्स्ड रिव्यूज का रिस्क नहीं ले सकता था. सो आई ओनली वेंट फॉर द इंस्टीट्यूट जो उस एक्सेल शीट में सबसे ज्यादा पॉजिटिव रिव्यूज वाले थे, एंड जिसमें नेगेटिव रिव्यूज नहीं थे बेसिकली. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई चोज एलीट्स ग्रिड. लाइक दैट्स एग्जैक्टली हाउ आई डिड इट.
Which batch did you enroll in and when did your classes begin in Elitesgrid?
So, like you're talking about this year's attempt. So, in 2024, I joined batch one repeaters batch, but very realistically, I started preparation in somewhere around June. So, that was how my preparation was. But the batch started in January. Yeah, I did a little bit in the start as well. So, yeah, that was how it was.
Every student faces their share of ups and downs throughout the CAT preparation
Yeah,
journey, right? Especially when
yeah.
things aren't progressing as expected, or especially when
Mm,
students attend their mock tests. The scores fluctuate a lot. So
yeah.
student feels a little bit demotivated in the between. So what helped you to stay motivated during those tough or challenging days?
So, like the biggest challenge that I faced was कि मैंने preparation में बहुत बड़ा gap ला लिया. तो अभी लीड्स ग्रिड का कंटेंट भी बहुत ज्यादा था, तो कवर नहीं हो पा रहा था. सो द ओनली थिंग दैट हेल्प मी वाज टू मेक श्योर दैट आई टेक थिंग्स वन डे एट अ टाइम. लाइक मेरे को ये नहीं देखना था कि कितना बाकी है, मुझे ये देखना था कि मैं आज क्या कर सकता हूँ. सेकेंडली, गाइडेंस भी मिली थी ऑन द गो. लाइक यू कैन कॉल सर, टेक्स्ट सर, एंड वो हमेशा अवेलेबल होते हैं. तो उनको बस सिंपली इतना बता दिया था कि ये प्रॉब्लम है, इतना गैप आ गया है, तो कैसे अब कवर अप करूँ. द लिटिल बिट ऑफ गाइडेंस आई गॉट फ्रॉम देयर एंड सम ऑफ माय ओन इनपुट्स, कंसिस्टेंसी, इसके वजह से इट वाज बेसिकली लाइक सॉर्टेड. तो बस यही था. लाइक सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज तो यही था कि गैप आ गया था, कंटेंट इतना ज्यादा था, लग रहा था कि 4 महीने 5 महीने में तो सिलेबस होगा ही नहीं, और पूरा नहीं भी हुआ. बट आई गॉट डन विद अ गुड चंक ऑफ इट विद अ लॉट ऑफ क्लैरिटी गिवन द लेक्चर्स. सो वैसे आई वाज एबल टू ओवरकम दिस.
There are three sections in CAT: Quant, VIS, and DILS. So was there any section that you initially found challenging than others?
Always quants. It has always been QA for me only. And it was the same last year and this year as well. But that is also because I have had no exposure to maths for like 5 full years now. But yeah, I was able to do fairly well for someone who does not like maths. So yeah, that was the section I couldn't find challenging.
So I would love to know, how did you practice the quant section to improve your performance?
So when it came to the quant section, मेरा aim starting से यही था कि I am going to focus on my strengths. Quant में I just want to make sure that I clear the percentile जो sectional cutoff होता है. And that was the perspective, and I was able to pretty much get successful at that as well. इसमें I wouldn't say I had done any special preparation for QA. I do regret that. मतलब मैं sectionals दे सकता था. I could have watched the long lectures more with more focus. But the good thing is that Elite's grid में मतलब अगर 100% content है, and if I've only covered 40% or 30% of it, that was still enough to score like a lot more than some people that have been doing maths for all their life. और इसका सबसे बड़ा रीजन था how sir approaches teaching quants and कैसे वो starting से एकदम basic से सिखाते. So very frankly मेरा exposure था limited to the 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. वाले lectures. बस वही देखे मैंने basic जो lectures थे, and that was still more than enough for me to cut like clear off the cutoffs. So obviously अगर मैंने पूरा content cover किया होता I would have done much better than that. लेकिन even though I did not have full input in quant, it was still effortless for me because of the way it was taught. So that was how I prepared it.
Okay, so when you started giving full length mocks, was your score high or low initially?
So initially the score was pretty average. I scored like 80, 85 percentile, I guess, in my first mock, but it was not like consistent. कोई mocks में बीच में कभी like 95 आ जाता था. कोई mock में it would be as low as 49 percentile. So it was like very volatile.
So can you walk us through a mock test analysis strategy? Because I believe
Hmm.
that you said that your score sometimes were 95 percentile as well. So
Yeah.
the improvement is just because of analysis strategy, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I
Yes.
would love to know what was your mock test analysis strategy.
Yeah, so analysis के लिए I had a different strategy for each section. Like for VRC, it was very simple: solve the entire section again without the timer. But that is what Shazar sir also suggested. Like the best way to analyze VRC section is to switch off the timer and redo everything, but to give a gap. So in VRC, whenever I used to analyze VRC, I would give a gap of 24 to 48 hours so that I don't remember everything. DILR mein, it was to solve all the sets. Again, even the sets that I was able to do, because Gaurav sir used to say that हर एक सेट को सॉल्व करने का अप्रोच अलग होता है इन योर सेक्शन or in your mock you might have done it in one way. Maybe you would have used questions, but there could be a way to use just the set itself. Sometimes there could be a way to use like question number 2 to get insights about question number 3 and so on. So अलग approaches develop करने के लिए वो sets भी करो जो solve हो गए, and obviously also do the sets which you couldn't solve. And for QA, it was to again like read, like not do the questions that I could get right, but to do the questions that I couldn't do. So the remaining questions which I skipped or which I got wrong, those were the ones which I solved for QA. And whatever mistakes I had made, the silly mistakes, I just created a basic note of it on my phone, and then I referred to it before each mock. So that was how my analysis was.
Approximately how many full length mock tests did you take throughout your preparation?
So I would say around 15 to 16 mocks, like 10, I think I gave 7 to 8 EG mocks, and the rest were IMS mocks.
ओके, कैट के 30 to 45 डेज पहले का टाइम बहुत ही क्रूशियल होता है एक
Yeah.
स्टूडेंट के लिए। उस टाइम पे
Yes.
जितने सारे फॉर्मूलेज आपने पढ़े हैं थ्रू आउट द ईयर
Mhm.
वो सब फिंगर टिप्स में होना चाहिए। ऑल्सो द स्ट्रेटजीज
Mhm.
दैट यू हैव मेड वो भी दिमाग में रहना चाहिए। सो आई वुड लव टू नो हाउ डिड यू अप्रोच योर रिविजन? और उस टाइम पे आप ज्यादा मॉक टेस्ट देते थे या फिर रिवाइज में फोकस करते थे? मतलब क्या था बेसिकली उस टाइम का शेड्यूल? बिकॉज बहुत ही स्ट्रेसफुल रहता है या फिर बहुत
Yeah.
फोकस्ड रहता है, जो भी है।
Right.
तो कैसे करते थे उस टाइम पे प्रिपेयर?
So like in the last month, like EG के through ही बहुत लंबे lectures start हो जाते हैं, 10 hour 12 hour lectures sometimes. So a lot of the days were like pretty much planned. They like served it on the plate. बाकी जब जो दिन थे जहाँ जब lectures नहीं हो रहे थे, तब I had completely shifted to sectionals. I was not giving mocks in the last month, but of course you can. It's not like a wrong thing to do. But I just decided to give sectionals, and the different thing I did was to give sections of those areas which I'm strong in, so that I can like seal the deal there, and I can make sure that at least my strengths can help me and save the D day for me. So that was what I did on days when there were not any lectures conducted, and the lectures conducted, so obviously attend those lectures. So that was like the entire strategy in the last month. Yeah.
Did you appear for any other exam apart from CAT?
I appeared for ZAT. Yeah, that's it. Cat and ZAT. Yeah.
Okay, may I know your percentile in that?
In ZAT, I think I got an 85. I don't exactly remember my ZAT score, but yeah, I think it was 85 percentile.
CAT and XAT are a bit different
Yeah.
because in XAT you have DM section, which is an add-on. Also, the exam pattern is also different. So, how
Yeah.
did you prepare for that?
Well, to be fair, I did not prepare much for that. I was already a little too excited about my CAT score, so I kind of like loosened my grip on my preparation in that. But yeah, the lectures were always on. Like support was still Jan end itself, or we had all access. So for that, but the difference was DM. Like that is something that I would say is the differentiating factor about that exam. And if you can do well in DM तो फिर तो I think it's sorted. मतलब ये एक myth है कि ZAT का QA DI is difficult than CAT, ऐसा मतलब मैं इतना डीपली क्यूए को समझ नहीं सकता, लेकिन आई कैन स्टिल से कि इट इज नॉट दैट विच मेक्स द डिफरेंस. मुझे लगता है डीएम इज व्हाट मेक्स द डिफरेंस, क्योंकि इट्स कंप्लीटली न्यू. तो इफ यू कैन, एंड सर डीएम में हमेशा पीवाई क्यूज पे फोकस कराते थे, विच इज व्हाट ऑल्सो रिफ्लेक्ट्स इन द एक्चुअल एग्जाम. तो वो मैटर करता है आई थिंक. अगर डीएम हो गया तो दैट इज प्रीटी मच द सेम गेम एज कैट. थोड़ा लंबा होता है एग्जाम, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो द अदर डिफरेंस.
Coming back to the interview stage directly, then share how you prepared for your personal interview.
So पर्सनल इंटरव्यू के लिए द थिंग्स दैट आई डिड वाज फर्स्टली जो भी लेक्चर्स थे अबाउट योर इकोनॉमिक्स, द बजट, द इकोनॉमिक सर्वे, जो भी बेसिक चीजें जो ऑलमोस्ट कॉमन है हर इंटरव्यूज में, उसे कवर कर लेना. द अदर थिंग आई डिड वाज कि ऑल्दो जो बिजनेस स्कूल्स के लिए हम अप्लाई करते हैं उनके बारे में हमको थोड़ा बहुत तो पता ही होता है, बट just go through their website maybe, knowing a lot more about the B school that you are giving your interview for always helps. उसके अलावा to give PIs and GDs. So for PIs, there were obviously four mock PIs that I got from EG itself. So I gave all four of them. I made sure that I don't delay my PIs. I gave all of them on time, pretty much. And I like also gave them on like strategic points. Ke har ek PI happened 5 to 6 days before each actual interview, so that I also had time to reflect on how my interview performance was, improve upon that. And उसके अलावा I also gave GDs. So there was one GD that I got from Elitesgrid. उसके अलावा I also joined some groups जहाँ पर मैं again and again बिना moderator obviously वहाँ पर it was just student led. So but फिर भी GDs देता गया. मतलब that really helped because what really helped me convert my IFT call was my GD performance, which was significantly better than my PI performance. And I think that that made the difference for me.
Keeping up with current affairs is also very important for B-School
Yeah.
interviews, right? So, what are
Yeah.
the topics that you focused on related to current affairs?
So, current affairs were asked in my IIFT interview and in my CAP IIM's interview, जहाँ पर they revolved around either what the business school is about. So, in case of IIFT, it was about a lot of trade and finance, especially क्योंकि मेरा background भी finance का था. And in CAP IIMs, again, it was still about trade. They asked me about like ports, etc. तो वो जो करंट अफेयर्स थे, मैंने बेसिकली उन चीज़ों पर फोकस किया जो सबसे पहले तो मुझसे रेलेवेंट है, जैसे कि जो मेरे सिटी से रिलेटेड है, फिर जो मेरे स्पेशलाइजेशन से रिलेटेड है. दे वर more important to me than the current affairs in general. लेकिन eventually वो भी करने चाहिए. The point is that prioritize उन current affairs को देना है जो प्रायोरिटी उनको देना है जो आपसे काफी ज्यादा कनेक्टेड है, क्योंकि अगर आप एक फाइनेंस स्पेशलाइजेशन से हो और आपको फाइनेंस का करंट अफेयर नहीं आता, दैट कैन बी अ मेजर हिट. सो और जो बी स्कूल के लिए आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, अगर वो किसी एक पर्टिकुलर चीज में है, जैसे आईएफटी का फॉरेन ट्रेड का था, तो इफ यू डोंट नो अबाउट फॉरेन ट्रेड रिलेटेड करंट अफेयर्स, दैट इज ऑल्सो मेजर हिट. तो उन स्पेसिफिक करंट अफेयर्स पर पहले फोकस किया, एंड देन आई वेंट ऑन फॉर द जनरल वंस.
Okay, so how did it feel finally when you received the convert? Because पूरे साल मेहनत के बाद finally the day came when you got the results. So how did it feel?
It really felt good. मतलब उस दिन I got the result when I was leaving my office. तो I did not have any hopes, क्योंकि अब तक तो सिर्फ उदयपुर ट्रिची कन्वर्ट हुआ था, बट अदर देन दैट ऑल अदर मेजर कॉल्स, एसपीजेएमआर, एमडीआई, इवन दो आई बिलीव्ड मेरे इंटरव्यूज अच्छे गए थे, दे डिड नॉट एंड अप टर्निंग वेल फॉर मी. सो आई हैड दिस थिंग इन माई हेड कि जो मुझे लगता है मेरा पीआई कैसा था वो मैटर नहीं करता, बट जो इवेंचुअल रिजल्ट आता है वो कैसा भी हो सकता था, तो आई वॉज नॉट सो श्योर अबाउट इट. सो व्हेन द रिजल्ट केम आउट, आई चेक माई नेम. आई रिमेम्बर लास्ट ईयर 2023 में IIFT के रिजल्ट में एक आर्यन जैन था, बट इट वॉजंट मी. इट वॉज समवन एल्स. तो उसका पूरा अलग, तो उसका आईडी अलग था, तो आई थॉट दैट ये साल की लिस्ट में भी मैं नहीं हूँ, वो कोई और ही होगा. बट देन आई रीचेक्ड the IIFT ID, and I like rechecked it 2 3 times, and then I realized that it's me. And that was like the moment when I was like feeling that, oh, this is really unreal for me right now.
What was your overall experience with Elitesgrid?
So my overall experience was really good. I would say कि this is probably the only institute जहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि सर कर क्या रहे हैं, फीस तो इतनी ली है बट इतना पढ़ा रहे हैं. Like I was like, this is literally a lot of his lectures feel like charity, because sometimes I look at those lectures and like इसके लिए तो मैंने पे ही नहीं किया था. I did not, the website पे बताते हैं we'll take 2 hour lectures 6 days a week, but they end up taking 12-hour lectures, lectures on Sunday, lectures on festivals. So that firstly gives me a lot of motivation in life as well, that put in extra efforts. And उसके अलावा I would say कि जो सपोर्ट सिस्टम है वो भी बहुत अच्छा है. मतलब आप लेक्चर्स में तो क्वेश्चंस पूछते हो, सर को किसी ने LCM नहीं आता वो पूछ लिया तो सर LCM भी सिखा लेते हैं. आई डोंट नो कोई इंस्टीट्यूट जो इतना बेसिक कराता होगा. बट उसके बाहर भी अगर लाइक कभी ऐसा लग रहा हो कि यूर लॉस्ट, कहाँ से स्टार्ट करे, लाइक आपका गैप आ गया हो या आपका कोई सेक्शन अच्छा नहीं जा रहा हो, तो उसके लिए यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट, यू कैन मैसेज. एक डाउट पोर्टल वेबसाइट पे ही होता है, वहां पर डाउट्स गेट सॉल्व लाइक प्रीटी मच इन 24 hours ओनली. तो पूरा इकोसिस्टम बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा था. एंड ही ऑल्सो टॉट लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जो कैट में कभी कभार लगता है एक्सपेक्टेड ही नहीं है. लाइक हम पढ़ते तो हमको लगता था ये क्यों पढ़ा रहे, बट या इन 2023 वो सब आ रहा था. सो आई रियलाइज या दिस इज ऑल इम्पोर्टेंट. So yeah, that was like really good experience for me.
If you could give one important piece of advice to any CAT aspirant to help them improve their score, whether it's a
Mhm.
common mistake that they should avoid or something that they should consistently focus on throughout their preparation, then what would it be?
So I would say that दो चीजें हैं. सबसे पहले तो पेपर कितना डिफिकल्ट आने वाला है उस पे फोकस करना ही मत. बिकॉज 2023 सब लोग गए थे विद द माइंडसेट कि ठीक है जैसा कैट होता है वैसा ही होगा, बट इट टर्न आउट टू बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. फिर उसके वजह से सब डर गए. सो 2024 में दे थॉट इट बी अ डिफिकल्ट पेपर, सिर्फ कम क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करके आए. बट यू हैव टू गो विद अ ब्लैंक माइंडसेट अबाउट पेपर की डिफिकल्टी. द सेकेंड थिंग इज कि ये मत भूल जाना कि 3 सेक्शंस है. बिकॉज काफी बार ये होता है कि सब लोग, और ये बहुत ही कॉमन चीज है कि क्वांट में एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड सिलेबस होता है समवॉट. तो सबको लगता है कि मेरा प्रेप इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच सिलेबस आई कंप्लीटेड इन क्वांट्स. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज क्वांट्स का सिलेबस तो वैसे इनफाइनाइट ही है, वास्ट है, जितना करो उतना कम है. बट उसमें लोग भूल जाते हैं कि नहीं मुझे LRDI भी प्रैक्टिस करना था, VRC भी प्रैक्टिस करना था. तो 3 सेक्शंस का गेम है. अगर एक सेक्शन बहुत अच्छा चला गया और दो अच्छे नहीं गए तो ओवरऑल स्कोर अच्छा नहीं होगा. So these are the two things. Main is to focus on not the difficulty, but to give your level best on that day. And the second would be to not forget कि 3 sections है, सिर्फ एक नहीं है. So that is like something that I would recommend.
That's such a valuable advice. Rightly said that there are three sections and one
Yeah.
need to put equal efforts in all the sections because
Yeah.
ultimately सब मिला के ही total cutoff आते हैं and there's a sectional cutoff as well. So
Yeah.
rightly said. So thank you so much for sharing your amazing journey with us. Your journey is a proof that with the right mindset, planning, and consistency, even the toughest goal like the CAT exam can be achieved. Once again, a huge congratulations on securing a spot at IFT Delhi. Wishing you all the very best as you start this exciting new chapter. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much.